Hi everyone, it's time for another episode of Atoms for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around, we're going to be talking about the 1999 film Blue Streak, starring Martin Lawrence. Besides Martin Lawrence as the main character, Miles Logan, you've also got Luke Wilson as Carlson, Peter Green as Deacon, Dave Chappelle as Tully, Graham Beckel as Rizzo, Oleg Krupra as Jean Lafleur, and John Hawkes as Eddie. So quite a few well-known actors in this particular movie. Basically, this is one of my favorite movies from my childhood. One that I would watch all the time with my mom. I haven't seen it in a while, and I forgot how much I actually really love this movie. The movie being made in the 90s definitely has that 90s feel, from the cars to the clothes to the music, and even the lingo, the way they talk to each other, has a lot of 90s feel to it. The movie starts off with Martin Lawrence and his crew robbing some place with a giant diamond in a vault. And things go south when one member of the crew, Deacon, betrays the others and tries to take the diamond for himself. But Miles gets away, is forced to hide the diamond in a building under construction across the street. Miles gets arrested after serving 2 years in prison, gets out and goes back for the diamond, only to discover the building he hid the diamond in is now a police precinct, which is pretty funny, ironic given he's a criminal, and pretty original idea for a movie. Understandably, Miles is upset, laugh out loud. His ideas for getting the diamond back start out small, like dressing up as a pizza delivery man, which is pretty funny. Pizza delivery man with a candy addiction, I might add. And then, I love how part of him training to be a cop is him watching the series or TV show Cops, just kind of trying to mimic the movements on there. So Miles gets in using fake credentials before he can get out. And before he can get out with the diamond, he is spotted and has to pretend to be a detective to keep his cover, so he doesn't blow his cover. And he's surprisingly good at it, if not a little hilarious. The driving scene is one of my favorite scenes in the movie, with Miles driving like a maniac with his real police detective partner Carlson, Luke Wilson's character, in the passenger seat. And one of my favorite lines from Miles, when they get behind a slow-moving motorist with a POS car, he says, "Hey, this is the police. Move your busted-ass vehicle. This is the LAPD. We'll pop one in your ass. We got guns and shit." The next scene where he runs into his old friend Tully while Tully is robbing a convenience store is pretty funny. And when Miles asks Tully, what is he doing? Tully says, "I'm freaking working over here." Like he's a criminal, so that's his idea of work, is robbing places. When Miles finally gets up into the vents where he stashed the diamond, he learns that it's not where he put it, as a hot water pipe had burst and sent the diamond further down the vent. So he's up there and he's realizes the diamond's not where he put it. And all you see Carlson kind of typing on a computer, and all you hear from the vent is "shit," and it just echoes through the vent as loud as you could possibly think of. It's just really hysterical because Carlson's just kind of looking around like, what in the hell was that? And then as he goes back to what he's doing, then you hear, "damn." So that it's pretty funny. And then, the movie progresses, some scenes, more stuff, him trying to be a cop and pretend to be a detective, more specifically. Then you get to the final scene, which is pretty funny. Surprisingly action-packed, and the chase scene is pretty good, too. So basically, like, he got the diamond out of the vent, so he helped with a major drug bust, and the drug is in evidence. He's learned that the diamond has basically gone through the vent and landed above a vent opening in the evidence room. And he's in the evidence room above these drugs that he just helped bust. trying to get the diamond out, and he's got it in his hands. He's looking at it. Somebody comes in, another cop, and he drops it into this big old crate of drugs. And so basically, like, they've used the drugs as a sting operation to get this big drug dealer that they've been after. So Miles actually helps him do that. And, you know, basically Deke is on to him now. Like, Deke has figured out he's out of prison. He's trying to get the diamond back. And as Miles is posing as an undercover drug dealer in the back of the truck, Deacon, along with Tully, come in to get their cut of the diamond from 2 years ago. And during the whole chaotic scene with the drug dealer and, you know, the cops coming in, everybody getting arrested, Deacon gets away in this armored truck with the diamond. And that's where the whole chase scene comes in. That's Miles chasing after Deacon to get it back. And where they are, like, the whole thing mainly takes place in Los Angeles. The drug deal happens to take place in a warehouse near San Diego. And eventually the chase scene leads to the Mexican border, and Deacon gets over the Mexican border, where most real cops obviously can't pursue out of jurisdiction rules. Well, Miles isn't a cop, and he's like, the hell with the jurisdiction. Follows him over the border. They have their climactic final scene. You know, he gets him to give up the gun because he says, you know, if they think I'm a cop, I can help you here. And more or less, you know, Miles, he then drop kicks him to the ground after he gives up his gun, handcuffs him to the underside of the truck after he flipped it over using a police maneuver, and it's going to basically leave him for the federales or the Mexican authorities to arrest him. But he pulled out a second gun he had hidden in his back pocket while Miles turns around and shoots him, and that's that. So that's where that whole chase scene comes from. And eventually, of course, Miles' cover is finally blown by Carlson. He figures out who he really is, but he happens to be on the other side of the border when they figure it out, so they can't technically pursue him. So Miles gets to get away with the diamond and hide in Mexico, and that's pretty much where the movie ends. You know, overall, it's a great movie. It's really funny with a great original storyline and just a really entertaining movie all around. Like I said, this is one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. I used to watch this all the time with my mom. And basically, it's got a 14A rating. So obviously I wouldn't recommend it for anybody the age of 14. I mean, you got continuous language throughout the movie, some violence, you know, some crude subject matter, and obviously it's a little bit of, you know, reference to drugs. So definitely not for anybody the age of 14. But overall, I think maybe you could even get away with the PG-13 rating. But yeah, you can pretty much find it wherever movies are sold. Highly recommend this movie to anybody who hasn't seen it. Even if you have seen it, watch it again. Do yourself a favor. Maybe you're like me. This is a movie from your childhood you haven't seen in a long time. Watch it again. You'll not be disappointed. All right, folks. You have yourselves a great one. Take care. We'll see you in the next one.